Have you ever found yourself wondering where some of the biggest hype basketball stars have disappeared to? I mean, we've all seen them shine on the court with their killer moves and jaw-dropping shots. But what happens when their spotlight fades away? Where do they go? What do they do? Do they still have the same passion for the game that we all know and love? Or do they fade into obscurity, never to be heard from again? Today, we'll be taking a closer look at some of the biggest names in basketball history and what they're up to now. From Dwight Howard to the more recent McClung, the guy who saved the dunk contest. But before we dive in, make sure you smash that subscribe button down below. That way, you won't miss any of our awesome NBA content. Let's start off with McClung. Before the All-Star Weekend, only diehard NBA fans or some committed college basketball fans had heard of him. McClung's resume consisted of a solid college career, spent at Georgetown and Texas Tech, an impressive G League career, 2 NBA games total, and some viral dunking clips. When he walked onto the court, he looked like a fan who had just won a contest, complete with a jersey he had never worn in a game. But as soon as he took off, it was clear that this guy was the real deal. His dunks were insane, and he pulled them off with such ease that it almost looked like he was born to dunk. By participating, McClung made history as the first G League player to be invited to one of the NBA's most high-profile events. He was participating in a Philadelphia 76ers uniform after signing a 2-way deal with the team 4 days into the All-Star Weekend. But by the end of the night, he had cemented himself as one of the most memorable dunk contest winners ever, and the latest person to save the event. McClung wasn't exactly drafted into the NBA, and after 3 uneven seasons, McClung had to take the long way into the NBA. He started off by signing a summer league deal with the Lakers in 2021, but he was eventually waived and had to settle for a G League contract. Then, in April of 2022, he was signed for a single game with the Chicago Bulls. He appeared briefly with the Golden State Warriors in the team's preseason games in Japan last October, but he didn't stick there either. McClung then signed with the Philadelphia 76ers G League affiliate, the Delaware Bluecoats. This allows him to play for Philly when needed for the rest of the regular season. However, come the offseason, he'll be a free agent and will likely seek out more permanent employment with an NBA team. And if he can't land a spot on an NBA roster, he'll probably take another 2-way or G League contract. But don't worry, McClung isn't done yet. As soon as he accepted the dunk contest trophy, he confirmed that he'll accept the invitation to participate in next season's dunk contest if the NBA wants him to. And he's ready to face whoever wants to compete against him. No matter who he faces, McClung will enter the 2024 dunk contest as a far more famous man than he was in the year's All-Star Weekend. Next up, Tacko Fall. Y'all remember Tacko Fall, right? How could you not? He's a 7'6" man named Tacko. In high school, Tacko led his team to an undefeated season and helped them win the state championship. He was named the Florida Class 3A Player of the Year and received offers from several Division I colleges. But it was at the University of Central Florida where he made a name for himself. He was a dominant force on the court, leading the Knights to a record-breaking season in 2019. The 7'6" center left as the program's all-time leader in blocked shots, 280, and field goal percentage, .740. Tacko's dreams came true when he was signed as the undrafted free agent by the Boston Celtics. During his short stint in the NBA, he made some viral headlines, but despite all of the attention, he failed to make a big impact on the court. However, that's all changed since he's taken his talents to Xinjiang, and he has become the prime Bill Russell of the Chinese Basketball Association. This dude is making steals on the defensive end and driving the full court on breakaways for the slam. And let's not forget about his swats. He's sending balls all the way to Mongolia from his tiptoes. You can watch the NBA, NCAA, Liga ACB, and LNB Pro A all season long, and you still won't see anything like what this dude is doing in the CBA. It's been a while, but Tacko Fall has finally arrived, and we all know it's better late than never. Now, to Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin was supposed to be the next big thing in the league, a dominant force on both ends of the court with his incredible strength, athleticism, and explosiveness. And he lived up to the hype during his college days at Oklahoma, where he was straight up dominating. I'm talking about multiple state championships and 2-time Oklahoma Player of the Year. He became one of the most highly touted prospects in the entire country. So when he declared for the NBA draft in 2009, the hype surrounding him was real. The Los Angeles Clippers selected him first overall, and fans and analysts alike saw him as the next great power forward in the league. In his rookie year, Blake put up some insane numbers: 22.5 points, 12.1 rebounds, and 3.8 assists per game, which made him the Rookie of the Year. But it wasn't until the 2011 All-Star Weekend that he blew up and became a household name, playing in the Rookie Sophomore Challenge and even participating in the Slam Dunk Contest. Griffin reached the final round of the Slam Dunk Contest, going against JaVale McGee. For his final dunk of the night, this dude brought out a freaking Kia sedan and then jumped over the hood to throw down a monstrous dunk. I mean, who does that? Only Blake Griffin, man. And the best part, he won the contest with that dunk. No doubt about it. He became the face of the Clippers franchise and was a key piece in leading them to multiple playoff appearances, and was also named to the All-Star team 6 times. But then he was plagued with injuries. On top of that, he's also faced criticism for his lack of success in the playoffs and some of his on-court antics. But despite these setbacks, Blake has remained a valuable contributor to the game. However, after being traded to the Detroit Pistons in 2018, Blake's career took a bit of a downturn. He struggled with injuries and his stats took a dip. He was then traded to the Nets in 2011, and now Blake is a Celtic as he signed a 1-year deal with the franchise. He's still a valuable contributor on the court, and he's shown some flashes of the dominance that made him a star early in his career. Next up is Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard created a legendary resume in high school, especially during his senior year in 2004. His team had a ridiculous 31-2 record, and they won the state title, all while he was averaging nearly a triple-double throughout the season. And when he entered the NBA draft in 2004, he was the first overall pick by the Orlando Magic. The hype surrounding him was real. Fans and analysts alike saw him as the next great center in the league, and the Magic were banking on him to be their franchise player. But things ended tragically for the Magic franchise, as Howard wiggled his way out of Orlando to join the Los Angeles Lakers, just like Shaq did before him. The move was made in a 4-team trade that netted the Philadelphia 76ers Andre Bynum, and near single-handedly set the process into motion. Now, I know a lot of you are wondering what he's been up to lately. The 8-time NBA All-Star is still hooping. He has been looking like his old dominant self, minding his own business since joining Taiwan's T1 League in November. Playing for the Taiwan Leopards, Howard has been killing it on the court, averaging 25.6 points per game. He was also named the T1's inaugural All-Star Game MVP, and it's no surprise why. In that game, he posted an incredible stat line of 37 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists. And in what universe did any NBA fan ever think they'd hear the words Dwight Howard and 3-point sniper used in the same sentence? Am I right? I mean, come on, who would have thought that we'd ever see the day when Dwight Howard could shoot threes like a pro? Not me, that's for sure. But guess what? It happened. In case you missed it, Howard recently participated in the T1 League's 3-point contest, and he posted a whopping 15 points. That's way better than what anyone would have expected from a guy who struggled to make free throws in the NBA. Now to Greg Oden. He is widely regarded as one of the biggest NBA busts of the past decade because he was taken with the #1 pick instead of Kevin Durant. The 7-foot Oden made quite a name for himself during his high school days. In fact, he was even dubbed as the NBA's next big man. And over the course of 4 years, Oden led his team to an impressive record of 103-7, and also 3 consecutive Class 4A state titles. He was also named the Gatorade National Player of the Year, not once, but twice, in 2005 and 2006. The newspapers were raving about him, and even the New York Times called him a once-in-a-basketball generation center. They even mentioned his name alongside the great Bill Russell. And it wasn't just hype either. Greg Oden was the real deal. He went on to play for Ohio State University, and as a freshman, he led them all the way to the national championship game. In the 2007 NBA draft, the Portland Trail Blazers had the first overall pick, and they selected Oden. The trio of LaMarcus Aldridge, Brandon Roy, and Greg Oden looked very promising back in the day, but never fulfilled the Blazers' hopes. Unfortunately, due to a slew of injuries, Oden's career never took off as expected. He couldn't stay healthy, and that derailed his career. In 2012, the Trail Blazers waived him, and he bounced around a few teams. In 2015, he ended up going to play in China. While his playing career may have gone awry, he's managed to keep his passion for the game alive by getting into coaching. And last year, he landed the gig of Director of Basketball Operations for Tad Matta's new crew at Butler. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. We've got plenty more exciting content coming your way that you won't want to miss out on. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.